Tonight's episode of New Crown Wrestling starts when Kevin Sullivan steps into the ring, his microphone in hand, pacing like a predator eyeing its prey. The crowd buzzes in anticipation as his gravelly voice cuts through the arena. Jim Cornette, you've always been a man with a silver tongue and a bag full of tricks. You call yourself a mastermind, a genius, but what you really are is a coward hiding behind that beast you chained to your leash, Big Van Vader. He pauses, turning to the hard cam, his eyes blazing with intensity. You paint Vader as some unstoppable monster, a force of nature, but I see through the smoke, Cornette. I see the mirrors. You've been feeding him nameless, faceless opponents, cannon fodder for your little circus act, but the show's over. Sullivan moves closer to the ropes, leaning over them as if he's speaking directly to Cornette himself. Behind that curtain of hype and squash matches, Vader's just a man, flesh and blood like the rest of us, and at Battle at the Ballroom, I'm going to prove it. I'm challenging Vader right here and now. The crowd erupts, half in shock, half in excitement. Sullivan steps back to the center of the ring, raising his hands to claim the noise. Cornette, you better send your unstoppable force to meet me, because I'm ready to tear him apart, and when the smoke clears and the mirrors shatter, the world will see the truth. Vader isn't a monster, he's just a man, and men bleed. Sullivan drops the mic with a thud and raises his arms, staring down the entrance ramp as a crowd roars in anticipation. This hypes up the match between the two coming at a special themed event, Battle at the Ballroom, coming in a week in game time. But then the lights dim and an unmistakable sound of a tennis racket slapping the mat echoes throughout the arena. The crowd knows what's coming next. Jim Cornette emerges from behind the curtain wearing his signature bow tie, a confident smirk plastered across his face. He strolls down the ramp, microphone in hand, his eyes lock on Sullivan in the ring. Kevin, you really think you're going to get under my skin with your little speech? You think that you're gonna scare me into sending Vader into the slaughter like some kind of lamb? Please, you're out of your mind, pal. You see, I don't need to hide behind anyone. I'm the genius behind Vader's success. I made him the unstoppable monster he is today, and that's why you're standing there running your mouth, trying to make a name out of yourself off of my hard work. Cornette stops at the bottom of the ramp, raising his racket as if it was a weapon, and speaks with an exaggerated southern flair. Now, you've got this big challenge for my guy, huh? You think you can break Big Van Vader? Let me tell you something, Sullivan. Vader doesn't just destroy men, he breaks them. You're barking up the wrong tree, because when that bell rings, Kevin, it'll be you that's wishing you never stepped foot in the same ring as the true monster of professional wrestling. Cornette paces back and forth, shaking his head, clearly amused by Sullivan's bravado. But I'll tell you what, Kevin, you got guts. I give you that. So here's the deal. I'll make sure Vader shows up at Battle at the Ballroom. He'll be there, and he'll make sure you never forget who the real monster in this business is. But don't say I didn't warn you, because when you get in that ring with Vader, you won't be fighting a man, you'll be fighting a force of nature, and trust me, Kevin, you don't want to be on the receiving end of that. Cornette smiles, looking in the camera as he speaks directly to the audience. So get ready, Sullivan. You wanted this fight, and you got it. But remember, when Big Van Vader is done with you, it'll be your blood all over the mat, and I'll be standing there laughing in your face. You won't have anyone to blame but yourself. See you at Battle at the Ballroom, pal. It's gonna be a massacre. Cornette drops the mic, raising his tennis racket high as he heads backstage, a sinister grin on his face. A whole lot of writing there for a segment rating of 37. The first part with just Kevin Sullivan got a 28, and then the second part with Jim Cornette got a 43. It did pretty good for, our company's standards, and it got the crowd hot right off the bat there, which I thought was a good choice to put them at the beginning of the show. Anyways, the first match of the night was Charlie Fulton. Newly signed Charlie Fulton defeated Dale Veazey in 15 minutes with a wrestling rating of 38, crowd of 9, and a segment rating of 42. The segment ratings are doing really good. This crowd rating sucks, though. I'm upset. don't think I've ever had crowd rating so low so far yet, but it's local to global, so I'm gonna put it off on that. I mean, we're improving, so I'm not too upset. But Charlie Fulton in his official debut, got a 40 ring performance, so that's pretty good. I'm very happy with that. And our debuting Scott Hall defeated Mike Von Erich in 15 minutes, but he sustained a bruise. Coccyx? Is that what that is? Coccyx? Anyways, it's got a wrestling rating of 30, crowd of 25, so this is pretty good crowd rating too. Summer rating of 28. See, our crowd rating went up, but the match quality overall was bad, so I guess it evened out, but very hot still, so that's good to see. Yeah, Scott Hall at 37 performance, so if this isn't a serious injury, then it's going to be good to see that performance again. Mike Von Erich got a 24. I don't think I'm really going to use Mike Von Erich. My plan was to use him in a tag team and get him over that way, but he's just not... He can't get along with anyone, and he also just now injured Scott Hall, and Scott Hall was probably going to be a big factor in the future. But yeah, it'll cost heat on Mike for that injury, which was expected. And now we have Tugboat standing backstage, his trademark sailor hat slightly tilted as he glares into the camera. His deep voice booms with frustration, but there's a hint of amusement as he begins. Brickhouse Brown, you've been sailing rough waters with that big mouth of yours, but when it's time to dock and back up your words, you jump ship. That's not toughness, that's being a coward. He points to the camera with a stern face. I've heard enough of your barking from the shoreline, Brickhouse. It's time you stepped into the deep end, you and me, one-on-one. I'm challenging you to a singles match. No more life preservers, no more lifeboats. Let's see if you could swim, or if you're all talk and no anchor. Tugboat smirks as he leans forward, his voice dropping with determination. You've been rocking that boat, Brickhouse, but at the end of the day, I'm the one that's steering this ship, and when it's all said and done, I'm going to send you straight to Davy Jones' locker, so buckle up, because the tugboat is coming to teach you respect. Tugboat flexes his arms, signaling his challenge before stomping off camera, but the camera cuts to a backstage area, and it's Brickhouse Brown. He says, let's talk about Tugboat, that oversized dinghy. He's out here spouting boat puns like it's open mic night at the marina. But let me tell you something, there's no storm coming my way. I'm smooth sailing, baby. Brickhouse adjusts his shades and smirks. He wants me to step into his ring. Sure, I'll play along. If he wants to embarrass himself in front of the world, who am I to stop him? But Tugboat better watch out, because when I'm through with him, his little ship is going to be wrecked, stranded, and taking on water. Brickhouse laughs smugly and walks off. Challenge officially accepted. It's got a 24 performance. The beginning with just Tugboat got a 32, and then I'm actually surprised because once Brickhouse came in, that got a 13. Brickhouse is definitely the better with charisma and mic skill, but anyways, it's got a 7 rating 24. We're still hot, so I'm not too upset. Up next, we had a match between the Midnight Express. They defeated Carl Styles and the debuting Ultraman. Ultraman is obviously Ultraman Jr., the son of Ultraman, obviously. His skills looks pretty good. He's 19, I think, so hopefully he's going to be a big factor in the future. I would love to have more of like a high-flying style. I know Cowabunga is too, who you'll see in a minute. But it looks like Carl Styles and Ultraman doesn't work well together. That's crazy. I'm having so many problems with tag teams. But yeah, hopefully Ultraman's good for the future. He got a 26 performance. His gimmick is poor, so we'll have to change his gimmick. Dennis Condrey and Carl Styles seemed off their game. It seems like all this is all stuff that is early game stuff that we're gonna fix. So I'm not too upset. But we got a segment rating of 44, which is incredible. And about that had good wrestling and decent reaction. Laney Poffo defeated Al Snow in 15 minutes. Al Snow's kind of in limbo at the moment because I don't really know what to do with him. My plans completely failed. So that's that. But anyways, he lost to Lanny Poffo. With Lanny had a 36 performance, was really good. Wrestling rating of 33, crowd of 7. Summer rating of 36, pretty good. Crowd hot. Crowd is still very high. Lanny Poffo was off his game. His cocky weasel gimmick got a rating of great, which is good to see, which is great, I guess. And then we have Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. They're standing in front of the camera. Their frustration, boiling over. Michaels takes the lead, his voice sharp and full of fire. He says, "Nick Kanitsky, Paul Diamond, you two call yourselves the Breed, huh? The only thing you're breeding is excuses and cheap tactics. You couldn't handle us fair and square, so you took the coward's way out." Michaels steps closer to the camera, jabbing a finger towards the lens. "You talk a big game, but let's see if you can back it up. If you're as good as you claim to be, prove it. No shortcuts, no cheap shots. Just you two and us one more time. Let's settle this once and for all." Marty Jannetty steps up, shaking his head in belief before addressing the camera. "The Breed likes to talk about being the future of tag team wrestling, but the truth is, you're scared. Scared of what happens when you step into the ring with the Rockers without your bag of dirty tricks. Well, guess what? We're not going anywhere. You might have stolen one win, but the next time there won't be any running or hiding." Michaels leans in for one final word, his tone deadly serious. "Nick, Paul, get ready, because when we step into that ring again, the Rockers are going to rock your world, and trust me, boys, this time there's no escape." The Rockers storm off. They're instantly leaving the challenge crystal clear. I said intensity. I write these things and I can't even read them off. My bad. So anyways, then it cuts to backstage. The Breed appear for an interview, and then Nick Kanitsky leans casually against the wall, smirking while Paul Diamond adjusts his jacket with a look of smug confidence. And then Nick says, "Shawn, Marty, you two are hilarious. You get one little setback and suddenly it's a conspiracy. Let me spell it out for you. The Breed doesn't need shortcuts. We're just better than you." Paul Diamond chuckles, chiming in with a dismissive tone. "The Rockers want a rematch? Fine. If they're so eager to embarrass themselves again, who are we to say no? But let's be honest, they're not in our league. Never have been. Never will be." Kanitsky grins, leaning towards the camera for a parting shot. The Rockers talk about settling things once and for all. Boys, we're already settled it. But if you're too stubborn to accept reality, we'll be happy to beat it into you one more time. See you in the ring if you survive. The Breed laugh as they walk off, radiating arrogance and leaving their challenge dripping with disdain. This got a summer rating of 21, rating of 24 and then 17. I'm kind of accepted that, I guess the rate... backstage segments just aren't doing so hot. I mean, they're doing okay. They're keeping the crowd hot, but for me wanting to advance storylines really through promos, it's not really doing it too well. But anyways, no, why did that happen? Why did I mess that up? Tony Stetson defeated Big Van Vader. We're gonna act like he didn't. We're gonna say Vader defeated Tony Stetson. That really sucks. That's a horrible loss for Vader to take. But we're gonna say Vader won with a wrestling rating of 23, crowd of 5, summer rating of 16. This is supposed to be another squash match from Vader against Tony Stetson. So, anyways, that sucks. But anyways, Hercules Hernandez comes out and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Wrestling is not a game. It's not a joke. It's a battlefield where only the strong survive. I've dedicated my life to the sport. My blood, my sweat, my very soul has been poured into this ring. And what I see today is a disgrace." The crowd reacts with a mix of boos and cheers as Hercules paces the ring, flexing his muscles. "I see clowns. I see jokers. I see men who treat this sacred ground like it's a playground. But Hercules Hernandez is no clown. I'm not here to entertain your foolishness or laugh at some cheap tricks. I'm here to dominate, to destroy, to show every single one of you what true strength looks like." Suddenly, Cowabunga's upbeat theme music hits, and the crowd erupts in cheers as Cowabunga skates down the ramp, tossing pizza slices to the fans. He slides into the ring, spins around, and grabs a mic, grinning ear to ear. Whoa, 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 Herc. Chill out, bro. You're out here flexing like you're in a bodybuilding competition, but all I see is a dude who seriously needs a slice of pepperoni and a good time. The crowd laughs and cheers as Cowabunga playfully mimics Hercules' flexing. Hercules glares, clearly unimpressed. Hercules says, "You've got a lot of nerve interrupting me, Cowabunga, or whatever ridiculous name you're going by. Do you think this is funny? Do you think you can just waltz in here with your skateboards and pizza and make a mockery of my sport?" Cowabunga smirks and spins his mic around his finger. Mockery? Nah, dude. I'm just bringing some flavor to this boring party you're throwing. Wrestling's supposed to be fun, man. It's about the fans, the energy, the radical vibes, and judging by that sour look on your face, Herc, I think you forgot to have any. The crowd cheers again as Hercules steps closer, towering over Cowabunga. Hercules says, "Fun? You want fun? How about I snap that skateboard in half and shove it down your throat? I'll show you what happens when you step into the ring with a real wrestler. I'll show you pain, kid. The kind of pain that'll make you regret ever putting on that ridiculous outfit." Cowabunga steps back, feigning fear, then leans into the mic. Cowabunga says, "Whoa, easy there, big guy. No need to lose your shell over it. But hey, if you ever want to throw down, let's throw down. Just don't cry when this pizza-loving Ninja Turtle wipes that mat with you, dude." The crowd erupts as Cowabunga throws his skateboard to the floor and points at Hercules Hernandez, clenches his fist, but instead of attacking, he smirks. Hercules says, "You've got guts, kid. I'll give you that. But next time you step into this ring with me, you'll see that guts won't be enough. You're gonna need a miracle." Hercules tosses the mic and exits the ring as Cowabunga leads the crowd in a chant of Cowabunga while mockingly flexing his arms. The scene ends with Hercules glaring back at Cowabunga from the ramp, setting the stage for their budding rivalry. It's got a 7 rating of 28. This was fun. I think I'm gonna have a fun time booking Cowabunga. As goofy and dumb as it is, I think it's gonna be fun. But yeah, 28 with a very hot crowd heat. And then I believe both of these guys are debuting. We got Tom Pritchard defeated Steve Armstrong in 15 minutes. This crowd rating of 34. Wrestling rating of 34. Crowd rating of 17, and then a similar rating of 38. Crowd is still very hot. Tom Pritchard had a better performance with the 34, with Steve Armstrong was pretty close with the 33. Tom Pritchard's gimmick was awful. Thinking like the more basic gimmicks are just not doing so well, so I'm gonna have to change that. But Steve Armstrong's turncoat gimmick got a very good rating, and this got the crowd buzzing. And that was the end of the show though, so I guess it didn't really matter if it got them buzzing. But let's go ahead and finish it up. 35, this did okay. Storylines. None of them had dramatic stakes. Huh. What does that mean? Oh, because I had nobody really win and lose this time. Is that what that means, I guess? Huh. Okay, I gotta keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and finish show. Let's, Cowabunga, let's give him some praise, and then also Vader. I wish I could, like, apologize. Compliment on their performances. Yeah, they did pretty good. Scott Hall is injured only for 5 days, and it can be worked through, but we're not even gonna have a show in 5 days, so it's gonna be fine. Gained popularity to 3, and that's gonna be that. Before we go any further, I want to just go over the roster here, because I haven't really took the time and done like some backstage stuff with you guys yet. So I'm gonna go over the roster, just people I've signed. I basically just went through, and the people that I could afford, I kind of went through and signed them. So I may not necessarily have plans with everybody. Kind of the people you saw today are the people that I have plans for. But anyways, this is the people I'm working with here. We got Al Snow, Big Van, Vader, Bobby Eaton, Rickhouse Brown, Bruce Pritchard, Carl Stiles, Charlie Fulton, Dale Veazey, Dennis Condrey, Hercules Hernandez, Jason Knight, Jim Cornette, Kevin Sullivan, Cowabunga, Laney Poffo, Marty Jannetty, Mean Mike, Mike Von Erich, Miss Elizabeth, which she's with Mike Von Erich, Nick Kanitsky, Paul Diamond, Paul Roma, Rick Gibson, Scott Hall, Shawn Michaels, Steve Armstrong, Tim White, our referee and owner, Tom Pritchard, Tony Stetson, Tugboat, Ultraman, and Woman. And it's really frustrating because with Woman, I want to change her picture, but I can't. I have her picture inside the game, and maybe I need to update my game, so maybe this will help. But so if I look up Woman, it's not here, and then the photo I added into this folder, the AMP folder here, was Nancy Benoit, and it's not even in there. She's not in here. So I don't know what's going on. I had the same problem with I wanted to give Kevin Sullivan a different picture because I don't even know what's going on in this picture. So I wanted to give him a different picture, which it's loading slow, and it's same with him. He's not coming up either. I added a Kevin Sullivan picture in here and it's not working. Maybe we just do Kevin James, maybe. But yeah, so it's a small thing. I mean, I don't even know. At this current time, I don't really think I'm going to have Woman with Kevin Sullivan because Woman, I would think, would be a better heel where Kevin Sullivan is a face at the moment. So it sucks. But anyways, that's gonna be it because we also don't have any titles. So I'm just gonna move on. We're gonna go into the next edition of New Crown Wrestling, and then we're gonna finish off with Battle in the Ballroom. I'm going to try it in my new Dubby shaker cup. Now you want to take a spoonful, nice even little scoop here. Let it go in the cup. Give it a nice big shake. And then we're gonna give it a try here. Delicious. It's a nice even blend of all the different flavors that you're gonna get through here. It is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like other energy drinks. They also have no maltodextrin filters and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, and nootropic, and 150 milligrams caffeine. If you are interested, go to dubby.gg and use code MindsetTEW for 10% off. That's code MindsetTEW for 10% off, and you'll be supporting the Mindset TEW channel. We are here for another edition of New Crown Wrestling. We start the show with Big Van Vader versus Bobby Ian. This is our first longer form match we've seen from Vader, with getting a wrestling rating of 42, a crowd rating of 21, and a segment rating of 46. He beat Bobby Ian from the Midnight Express. Vader got a 30 performance, Bobby Ian with a 53, which Bobby Ian is more of the experienced competitor in this match, so that makes a whole lot of sense. Looks like everybody did pretty well though. Jim Cornette did work at ringside. This match got crowd hotter. It was a strong start. So Brother Love debuted his obnoxious gimmick. I have Brother Love on commentary. I'm gonna have him kind of like a because there's no actual commentary, but him as just kind of like a hype man or whatever. I don't really know what he would be, but you'll see kind of the point I have him, because he's going to be later as well. Oh, actually, he'll be right now because he's going to be hyping up the upcoming matches, some of them. So, and we're about to hear my Brother Love impression. I'm gonna try my best here. He goes, I love you, yes, my beloved congregation of love, gather round for tonight. I have a message straight from the heart. First, oh yes, first, the high-flying, fast-paced, righteous pair of angels, the Rockers, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, two boys who embody the power of love. They'll be stepping into the squared circle to face those no good, low down, snarling, sneering outlaws known as the Breed. The Breed. Oh, you boys think you're tough? You think you're wild? Let me remind you, love conquers all. The Rockers, they're faster than Cupid's arrow and more dynamic than a heart skipping a beat. And when that bell rings, the power of love will bring you down. Oh yes, because the breed will find themselves just like all love's doubters, heartbroken and lying flat in that ring. Looks like we're getting a very biased take from Road to Love here, but the crowd erupts in cheers. And then he says, but that's not all. Oh no, not by a luck shot, my dear brothers and sisters. Tonight there's a man whose love for destruction is unmatched. A man who walks to that ring with power in every step. And a manager whose wickedness knows no bounds. Yes, my sweet disciples, I'm talking about the one, the only Vader. Big Van Vader is a man who doesn't just bring the pain, he loves it. And with that master manipulator, the wrestling brainiac Jim Cornette whispering in his ears, Vader has become an unstoppable monster of pure force. Next week, Vader steps into the ring against none other than Kevin Sullivan. Kevin, you may have dabbled in the dark arts, but Vader isn't afraid of your hocus pocus. No. Vader fears nothing. Not your twisted mind, not your devious tricks, not even the depths of your dungeon. With the guidance of Jim Cornette, Vader will squash your little games and leave you buried in the shadows. Very confusing of what side he's taking, because he likes the Rockers and he likes Vader. Maybe he's just a realist. Maybe he's just doing his real analytical take here. But Brother Love steps closer to the camera, his voice rising with passion. He says, next week, my beloved congregation, you will see the triumph of love. You will see the Rockers defy the odds. You will see Vader show Kevin Sullivan what it truly means to be unstoppable. Because when the dust settles, love, my friends, will reign supreme. I love you. That was awful, and I apologize, but we're gonna see it a lot, so get used to it. It's got a semi-rating of 29. It's got the crowd hotter, and this kind of helped both, it actually kind of hurt Kevin and Vader segment, but this lost heat, but then gained with heat with the Rockers and the Breed. Just kind of like a little hype thing. I didn't really know. We're kind of coasting, but I wanted to get one more show in, so this was kind of more focused on matches. So I thought this would be kind of a fun thing to do, just kind of have Brother Love kind of be a mouthpiece to hype up the next show. But anyways, we have the Rockers in a match. They defeat Legacy, which is the tag team of Mike Von Erich and Ultraman Jr., which, if you look down here, they get along. They don't have bad chemistry. But Shawn Michaels pinned Mike Von Erich with the Rockerplex. This was designed to revolve around high spots, and I think it did pretty well. I'm actually pretty happy about it. These are like the only guys, maybe not Mike, but everyone else are the guys that can do high spots, and they're the only ones. So, but yeah, everyone did pretty well. Even Mike definitely kind of performed better than I expected. But this had a wrestling rating of 33, crowd rating of 14, and a segment rating of 33. Next, we have a fun pairing here, because we have Brickhouse Brown teaming up with Tugboat, and obviously they can't get along, and the Breed defeat Brickhouse Brown and Tugboat. This got a wrestling rating of 24, crowd rating of 13, and a segment rating of 29. Tugboat had a performance of 22, Brickhouse Brown performance 24, Kanitsky 30, Paul Diamond 20. So everyone did pretty poorly. Yeah, I kind of was thinking about having Brickhouse or Tugboat kind of win the titles, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think these guys are definitely kind of mid-card tier feuds. But we learn. Obviously, this is why I didn't want to have the title right off the bat. So now we kind of are seeing who the better performers are. But yeah, this is very hot, and right after that match, we have Brother Love coming back out, and he says, I love you. Oh yes, yes, my dear brothers and sisters of love. It's time for a story of lost opportunity, a broken trust, and two men who simply can't let love guide their way. Just now, in front of you, all of you, the entire brotherhood of love, we watched as Brickhouse Brown and Tugboat, two men with all the talent, all the strength, and all the potential in the world, fell apart before our very eyes. Brother Love shakes his head dramatically, feigning sorrow. Brother Love says, it was supposed to be a night of glory, a night of triumph, but instead, what did we see? Brickhouse Brown, so proud, so confident, refusing to give an inch, and Tugboat, my big, burly, blundering Tugboat, so stubborn, so set in his ways, neither man could put aside their pride, their egos, their selfish desires. And what happened? They lost. They let themselves be consumed by their petty squabbles, and victory slipped through their fingers. Brother Love throws his hands in the air as if he's preaching to the heavens. Brickhouse, Tugboat, you didn't just lose a match, you lost an opportunity to embrace the power of love. But do you know what happens when love is ignored? Oh my dear sweet followers, when love is rejected, there must be consequences. So next week, at Battle at the Ballroom, Brickhouse Brown and Tugboat will face each other one-on-one. No excuses, no finger pointing, no one to blame but themselves. Brother Love's tone shifts to a more ominous, almost scolding demeanor as he leans closer to the camera. Oh yes, Tugboat, Brickhouse, this isn't just a match. This is your chance to prove who truly understands the value of unity, of trust, of respect. Who will rise above and who will sink under the weight of their own ego. Brother Love straightens up, his voice rising to a fever pitch. Next week, in that ring, you will face the ultimate test. The winner will be the man who understands the true strength, true power comes not from division, but from embracing the light of love. I love you. So obviously, I don't think anyone expected these two to get along, but Brother Love did, and he was kind of upset. And now he's very upset about these two not getting along, and we are going to see them at Battle at the Ballroom next week in game. Very unfortunate, segment rating of 30. And then we had our main event match. We had Cowabunga and Al Snow, another tag team match here, because they defeated Hercules Hernandez and Scott Hall. Story of the match was genuinely Cowabunga overwhelmed Hercules Hernandez. His high flying, fast kind of style just overwhelmed Hercules, and he was caught off guard, and it cost them the match because of it. Hercules carried the match in terms of ring performance. This got a wrestling rating of 35, a crowd rating of 16, and then a segment rating of 36. Scott Hall had a performance of 35, Hercules performance of 47, Al Snow 31, Cowabunga 27, and Scott Hall was off his game, which is kind of sad. Maybe, hopefully next time it'll be a little bit better, but still the crowd heat is very hot. But we end the show of Hercules Hernandez as a sore loser, and he grabs Cowabunga while he's celebrating and just chokes him out in the middle of the ring, and then walks off like nothing even happened. And that's going to end our show here. We got an overall rating of 35, I think the exact same as the last one. No popularity changes. So let's go ahead and give Brother Love some love. We'll give him a hug, give him some love. And then let's praise Hercules Hernandez. He did pretty good. And then financial support, we're still losing a whole lot of money real fast. I love you. Oh yes, my faithful congregation of love. Tonight we gather under the sacred banner of competition, drama, and of course, love. Welcome to Battle at the Ballroom. Ah, yes, tonight is not just any night, it's a night where rivalries explode, destinies are forged, and the power of love is tested in that very ring. And oh, my sweet brothers and sisters, do we have a lineup that will make your hearts race and your jaws drop? Let us begin with a tale of conflict, of fire and fury. Brickhouse, Brown, and Tugboat. Ooh, their paths have crossed in ways that left only bitterness and tension. Brickhouse, the quick and fiery spark plug. Tugboat, the mighty behemoth with a will like an anchor. Tonight, these two will step into that ring one-on-one and settle the score. Who will rise above, and who will sink beneath the weight of their own pride? Brother Love raises a finger, leaning toward the camera. And then, my dear disciples, we have a battle of speed, energy, and youthful exuberance. Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, the high-flying, death-defying rockers, take on the ruthless, unrelenting force that is the Breed. The Breed, ooh, they think they're unstoppable, but tonight we'll see if their strength can match the heart and soul of the rockers. Brother Love pauses, his tone growing darker and more intense. But the main event, oh yes, the moment you've all been waiting for. Tonight, in this very ring, we witness a clash of titans. Big Van Vader, the unstoppable monster, the man who embodies power and destruction, and standing across from him, the Taskmaster Kevin Sullivan, the dark architect of chaos. Vader with his master manipulator Jim Cornette by his side. He has crushed everyone in his path, but Sullivan, ooh, he has dabbled in the dark arts and brought terror to many. This is not just a match, it's a war, a battle to prove who is the most dangerous force in the wrestling world. Brother Love's voice rises to a crescendo as he spreads his arms wide. So tonight, my dear sweet followers, open your hearts, brace yourselves for the action, and remember, love will always guide you to the truth. I love you. Alright, so that promo opening segment there from our first ever special show. It's pay-per-view themed, but it's obviously not pay-per-view because we're not even on TV. But yeah, Battle at the Ballroom here got a 26, and it's got the crowd hot and rising. And our first show of the night, Brickhouse Brown defeats Tugboat in 15 minutes by pinfall using the ropes for leverage. The match was designed to be chaotic and full of action in order to get the crowd going, which it did because the crowd is now hot. It got a wrestling rating of 24, crowd rating of 16, and semi-rating of 24. Brickhouse Brown had a performance of 22, Tugboat had a performance of 26. Looks like the Brickhouse Brown and Tugboat's storyline advanced but lost heat, but the chaos helped how badly they were doing, which that was kind of what I expected. It would kind of help them in the long run. Tugboat's getting better at his gimmick too, which is good to see. But after the match, Brickhouse taunts Tugboat as he retreats, even declaring himself the superior wrestler, even though it was pretty obvious to everybody that he cheated. It's just the ref did not see. It's got a semi-rating of 22. And in a rather unique match here, Hercules versus Cowabunga in a clash of styles. Hercules dominates early with his power, tossing Cowabunga around the ring like a ragdoll. However, Cowabunga's speed and unorthodox moves, including a skateboard assisted leap from the ropes, gave him a surprising edge. In the end, Cowabunga distracts the referee with a fake pizza party delivery and then rolls Hercules up and grabs a handful of tights to steal the victory. And then post-match, I forgot to add this, but Cowabunga skateboards away, shouting "Cowabunga, dudes!" as Hercules fumes in the ring. So yeah, it looks like once again Cowabunga just outsmarted somehow Hercules Hernandez by distracting the ref that way. But this had a wrestling rating of 37, crowd rating of 19, a semi-rating of 43, did pretty good. Hercules a performance of 47, Cowabunga with a performance of 28. This crowd is still very hot. Let's move on. We got Midnight Express defeat Legacy in just 4:27. Bobby Ian pinned Ultraman with the rocket launcher. Ultraman with the weakest length got a performance of 7. Still, having the Midnight Express was a great choice because this was a wrestling rating of 36, crowd rating of 25, and a segment rating of 41. So the Midnight Express basically carried this whole thing, still keeping crowd heat hot. And then we have The Breed defeats the Rockers because of once again a ref bump that led to Nick Kanitsky low blowing Marty Jannetty, leading Paul Diamond to go up and pin Marty Jannetty once the ref got up. And of course, The Breed win against the Rockers once again. Shawn Michaels was head and shoulders above everyone else, of course. Shawn Michaels had a performance of 45, Marty Jannetty 33, Paul Diamond 23, and Nick 29. This had a wrestling rating of 33, crowd rating of 15, submit rating of 38. And Nick was off his game. That's unfortunate. And then as a road agent, Rick Gibson did not do very good, so I gotta make sure I gotta remove him as a road agent in the future. And then, of course, our main event, Big Van Vader defeats Kevin Sullivan in 20 minutes and 2 seconds by pinfall with a Vader bomb after Jim Cornette, of course, interferes. The match was designed to be an engrossing, story-driven spectacle that was slowly built up through psychology and worked towards a dramatic conclusion. Kevin Sullivan got a performance of 47. Vader got a performance of 22. They're on very different levels, but Vader with our star quality there, hopefully helping us in the future. But this guy was a very hot crowd heat, wrestling rating of 35, crowd rating of 23, segment rating of 30, and Jim Cornette did good at ringside. And then after that, to end our show, Big Van Vader does a moonsault. I believe, yeah, he does a moonsault, on top of Kevin Sullivan, leaving Kevin Sullivan very, very hurt, it looks like. They got some of the guys from the back coming to help him off, like kind of carrying him. I mean, it's a very small company, we can't afford stretchers, so they're just carrying him off. But Jim Cornette is just laughing in the ring as Vader's kind of like walking around, getting all hyped up and angry. But that's gonna end our show with a segment rating of 40. That did not do so well. Overall rating of 30. To finish our show here, let's address our locker room. Let's give Kevin Sullivan some love here, and then Shawn Michaels as well. I think those were our best two performers of the night. Financial report, we actually did not lose a lot of money. $890, less than normal. But we did have a smaller card, I guess. It's good to see. So yeah, this is our first major show, Battle at the Ballroom. Wasn't our worst show, but it wasn't very good. It was just kind of not really a conclusion, but kind of a major stepping stone of all these storylines, because I don't think any of these storylines are over yet. Still pretty happy. I'm having a fun time. The game may not be, fighting it too much, but I think the storylines we're doing are pretty fun, and I'm having a good time. So that's gonna be it, though. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys later.
I steal. I'm on the seat, I got the fire, can't you see? Two ladies falling for my Latin energy. One ain't enough, amigo, gotta keep it smooth. Siempre moviendo porque Latinos got the groove. Hey, I'm tougher than tough, calling your bluff. I'm the heat, baby, can you handle this stuff? I lie, I cheat, I steal. I lie, I cheat, I steal. Yeah, I don't care if you don't like me. Everybody wants to fight me. Can you feel it? Hey, oye lo claro, I'm the one bringing the fuego. No one's hotter, I'm too dangerous to handle. Latino heat.